Think for a second. Do you really know your cat? What does he do when you come home? Does he run to the door? Does he stand still, just staring at you? Does he meow as if he were complaining about something? Or does he simply appear from a distance, circle around your legs, and then move on as if nothing had happened? This daily reunion, which seems so simple, hides a secret, a kind of code he uses to read you, to scan you in a way you don't even imagine. Because for you, maybe it's just coming back home, but for your cat, those first seconds can say a lot. Your smell, your tone of voice, your rhythm, your attention, the way you respond. And the most intriguing part is that while he is scanning you, he is also transforming you, silently, without you even noticing. Because your cat does not just react to what you do, he learns from you. He notices who responds, who ignores, who talks, who comes closer, who understands the signs, and little by little, he may adjust his own communication for each person in the house. But the question is, to what extent is your cat's meow just a meow, and to what extent is it a strategy? Scientists from Ankara University and Bilkent University decided to look at this crucial moment, the first 100 seconds of the reunion, in a different way. They did not want the story guardians tell afterward when each person interprets their own cat in their own way. They wanted to see what was really happening there at the exact moment of arrival. So they placed cameras on the guardians themselves, like a phone or a GoPro, and said something very simple. Act normally. No calling the cat on purpose, no turning the scene into an artificial test, no trying to create a reaction. Just enter the house and let the behavior appear. At first, 40 guardians participated. Later, some videos had to be excluded for different reasons, and the researchers analyzed the behavior of 31 cats in their own homes, and that changes everything. Because this was not a cold laboratory far from routine, it was the cat's real environment, his territory, the place where he feels safe, where he knows every smell, every sound, and every person. And it was in this common, almost ordinary setting that something much less ordinary than it seems appeared. Because the researchers were not only looking at whether the cat came to the door or not, they observed 22 behavioral measures, approaching, rubbing the head or body against the legs, tail position, yawns, stretches, small gestures, small signs. But here is the detail. Among so many silent signs, one behavior caught attention in a special way, the meow. And that was when the story started to get strange. Among the 22 behavioral measures observed, from rubbing against the legs to stretching, one stood out unexpectedly: vocalization. The meow, this very common tool of your cat, revealed a curious difference, almost as if the cat knew exactly who he was talking to and adjusted his language. Think about that for a moment. The same cat, the same house, the same reunion moment, but a different vocal response depending on who comes in. That does not seem small, because many people still look at the meow as something too simple: hunger, neediness, a request, a complaint. But in this study, the meow appears as something more flexible, something social, something that can change depending on the person standing in front of the cat. And this is where everything starts to become more interesting. Because the cat was not just making noise, he could be using sound as a tool, as if he were saying, with this person, I need to insist more, with that other one, maybe not so much. And if that is true, then the meow does not reveal only the cat, it reveals you too. According to phys.org's coverage, cats meowed on average 4.3 times when greeting men during the first 100 seconds, but when greeting women, that number dropped to 1.8 meows, a difference that cannot be ignored and that raises a crucial question. Why this change? Why does your cat speak one way with one person and another way with someone else? And what does this mean about how he sees you, and more importantly, how he shapes you? The researchers' interpretation was careful. This does not mean cats prefer men or women. That is not the discovery. The point is more subtle, And maybe that is exactly why it is so powerful. The hypothesis is that cats may adjust their vocal communication according to the response they usually receive. In other words, if one person talks more to the cat, responds more to his signs, and notices more quickly what he wants, maybe the cat does not need to meow so much. But if another person is less verbal, less responsive, or takes longer to react, the cat may increase the meowing to get attention. But here comes the twist. In that case, the meow is not just a request, it's an adaptation. The cat tests, observes, and learns. He notices the pattern of the house. He understands who comes closer when he meows, who responds with a voice, who talks, who offers affection, who ignores, who takes too long, who looks, who does not look. And from that, he may change the intensity of his own communication. It's as if your cat had an invisible map of the people in the house, and maybe you're inside that map in a way you never imagined. Because your cat is not a passive being. He studies you, he adapts to you, and he uses that adaptation to shape the dynamic of your relationship in ways you never imagined. He scans you, and with every meow, he is rewriting the story of the two of you without you noticing it. The most curious part is that the researchers also didn't find a simple link between meowing more and one single emotion. In other words, meowing more does not automatically mean the cat is hungry, anxious, happy, or uncomfortable. And this matters because many guardians try to translate the cat as if every sound came with a ready-made subtitle. But cats don't work like that. The feline greeting seems to be multimodal. It involves voice, body, approach, touch, tail posture, small gestures, and even behaviors like yawning, stretching, or scratching. Every detail may be part of a larger scene, and maybe the mistake is precisely looking at one isolated sign as if it explained everything. The meow may be only part of the message, and the question is, are you hearing the whole message? Because when your cat comes close to you, meows, brushes your legs, raises your tail, rubs against you, and then walks away, he may not be being confusing. He may be communicating in layers. But if you only pay attention to the sound, you miss the rest. And if you only pay attention to the body, you may also miss the sound. The secret may be in the whole set. And this study also helps break an old idea that cats are cold, distant, or not very social. Because if the reunion with the guardian produces so many signs, if the first 100 seconds carry so many responses, then this moment has weight for the cat. Maybe he doesn't celebrate like a dog, maybe he doesn't show it the way you expect, but that doesn't mean there is no bond. It means another language. But there is a point. The study itself has limits. There were 31 cats in one specific cultural region in Turkey, so we can't turn this into a universal rule and say that all cats in the world will act the same way. Cultural differences in the way people talk to animals, respond to cats, and live with them at home may influence the results. But even with that caution, the central idea remains strong. A cat's meow may be much more strategic and flexible than it seems. It's not just an automatic sound. It may be a response shaped by coexistence, by the routine of the home, and the type of attention each person offers the animal. And this is where the most important discovery lies. Maybe your cat is not just trying to communicate with you. Maybe he is adjusting his communication to the type of human you have become for him. So, the next time you enter your home and your cat meows, don't listen only to the sound. Observe the context. See how he approaches, how he looks, how he uses his tail. And above all, notice one thing. Does he meow like that with everyone? Or is there a version of your cat that appears only with you? Because maybe that meow that seemed ordinary is actually a conversation built between the two of you. If you have ever felt that your cat has a peculiar way of communicating, leave your comment. What secret conversations do you notice with your cat?